Let's talk about when panic seems to come out of nowhere and the physics of reclaiming peace. I want to share with you the moment that changed everything for me, rather, it changed everything for me. And maybe me sharing my story will change everything for you. My first panic attack didn't happen in a war zone. It didn't happen during a breakup or any kind of crisis. It happened at work. It was in the middle of the day, a normal day. And out of nowhere, my heart was racing, my chest was tight. I felt like my vision was closing in, my mouth was dry. I thought I was dying. I really genuinely believed it was a heart attack. They called the ambulance and I ended up in the hospital. And they ran lots of tests, but they found nothing. No illness, no defect. I was 29 years old. My heart was perfect. There was nothing wrong. And I remember how humiliated I felt. From the outside, my life looked great. I had a job and a partner and a plan. So why was I falling apart? What I didn't know is that it was about my worth. Somewhere deep inside, I had a belief that I had to earn my right to rest. And I didn't know it then, but that belief had actually been living in my body for years. And ignoring it is what caused the panic. Because anxiety is chronic stress that's been ignored, and panic is your body's last resort to get your attention. It's trying to get your attention from the anxiety that's been ignored for years. Remember the triple threat? I went live last week about this. When you break it down, there's really nothing random about panic. Panic is physical. It's also very predictable. So let's talk about the nerdy stuff that I like, the brain waves, the nervous system, what's really, really happening during a panic attack. So your brain shifts to high beta brainwave activity, stress. This is the fight or flight zone. It's the survival setting of your body. You lose access to logic and memory. You're in total subconscious. You're in the body fully. The body is flooded with adrenaline, and all your system wants to do and is trying to do is survive. That's why you feel like you're dying, even if nothing is seemingly happening, especially if you're in familiar environments like your car or a meeting, even at your home. You might feel trapped. This is your brain misfiring. It's not reality. Here's what that means. Your sympathetic nervous system takes over. It's preparing your body to fight or flee from a life-threatening danger. And for thousands of years, that has worked for us Homo sapiens. It has helped us escape predators and dodge falling trees and survive real physical threats. But in modern life, the threat usually isn't a bear or a burning building. It's a boss or a deadline or a hard conversation. It also can be that fear of failure. It's something psychological. It's not physical. But your body doesn't know the difference. It just reacts. So we know what's happening psychologically a little bit. Let's talk about what's happening physiologically and relate it to what we interpret that to mean psychologically through the physiology. So all these things happen very quickly. Your pupils dilate, that lets in light. Your heart rate spikes. Your breath becomes really shallow and rapid. Your digestion shuts down. It's not the time to digest food, right? So that you can conserve energy. And all of your muscles tense. So let's break it down one by one. When your pupils dilate, the physiological reaction is so that you can take in more light and scan for danger. It also gives you that tunnel vision. But in the boardroom or the grocery store, it means that you can't focus. You're taking in too much light and you can't read the room. You can't see facial expressions. You can't even see straight. Your heart rate spikes in order to pump blood to your muscles. But you're not about to sprint. You're not about to fight. You're just sitting at your desk or in traffic. So a pounding chest feels like a heart attack. Your breath becomes shallow and rapid to take in more oxygen, but you're not about to run. You're driving or talking, or you're trying to sleep. So this feels like shortness of breath. It feels like choking, and it makes you think something's really wrong. And then when your digestion shuts down so that your body can conserve energy, the effect is nausea, stomach pain, maybe even dizziness because you've stopped digesting your food, which is misread as illness or death or collapse. Your muscles all tense up, especially around the neck, the jaw, the shoulders, and the core because we're bracing for impact. But in the absence of a real hit, this turns into shaking or jelly legs or rigidity or feeling like you're frozen. And none of these physiological things are random. They're built in to protect you. They're biological survival responses. But when they happen in the absence of a true threat, they feel wrong. They feel alarming. And we end up feeling like we are out of control. So your mind scrambles to explain it. Something's happening. I'm going to pass out. I'm not safe. This could kill me. And it's that moment of misinterpretation when the normal physiological response gets mistaken for a catastrophe. And that's the moment that the panic spirals and you get scared of the fear itself. This is called introceptive fear. Fear of your internal sensations. And then it becomes a vicious loop that keeps panic alive because we're afraid of it happening again. And this is why telling yourself to calm down or think positive never works, because your brain's logic center is offline. Your system has handed the keys to survival mode. And this is why we have to stop trying to think our way out of panic and instead work with the body, with the breath, and with the nervous system directly. Here's some more nerdy science for you. The first law of thermodynamics is that energy is never created or destroyed, only transformed. The energy has to go somewhere. So every time you swallow your truth, every time you smile through your stress, every time you clench your jaw instead of crying, the emotional energy doesn't just vanish. It builds up and the body stores it. It's like a pressure container that's been sealed. And one day the seal breaks. And that's your panic attack. It's your body saying, you didn't listen to me. Now you have to. And then we get caught in that cycle of being afraid of a panic attack, being afraid of the physical sensations. And then it becomes a habit. Newton's third law is the law that for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. This is physics. So if you've been pushing through the grief, through the fear, if you've been betraying yourself, eventually your body pushes back. Panic is not weakness and it's not irrational. It's just physics. It's the reaction to years of people pleasing, of not knowing your needs, of overriding your body's needs. And the subconscious lives in the body. Your subconscious runs 95% of your life. It doesn't live in your brain. It lives in your body. Every muscle you clench, every swallowed breath you take, that's your body acting out of old programming. And that little itty bitty shitty committee says, you're too much or you're not enough. It says, don't mess this up. They're going to judge you. It says, hold it together. And that itty bitty shitty committee is not you. It's the script you inherited. The good news is that scripts can be rewritten. So I'm going to give you 3 tools to transform your panic into power. Panic is just energy. So how do you release it? Well, it's not by numbing it. It's not by outrunning it. And it's not by ignoring it. You have to transform it. And this is what I teach inside the anxiety release protocol. We start with these three basics: body, breath, and mind. And we learn how to recognize, release, and rewire. So let's start with the body. You have to locate the energy because your body will tell you the truth before you can. You have to make a habit of noticing. Where does the panic land? Is it in the chest? Is it in the gut? Is it in the throat? What do you clench when you're feeling out of control? Because your body is not your enemy, it's your messenger. And so it's time to befriend it. Second is your breath. You move the energy. Your breath is your steering wheel. It can shift you out of survival mode faster than you thought. So we use the breath to stabilize the nervous system so the panic doesn't have to scream to be heard, rather. When you control your breath, you can take back control from the panic. And third is your mind. You rewrite the script. Once your body is calm and your breath is steady, we go to the root of the problem. We reprogram the subconscious patterns that caused the shutdown in the first place. That itty bitty shitty committee says things like, you're not safe unless you're performing. You're not enough unless you're perfect. And those are not facts. They are fictions. And they've been passed down through culture, through families, through trauma. And it's just survival strategies. And it's time to retire them. Your panic is not broken. It's brilliant. It's not a malfunction. It's just the moment that your body says, you don't have to hold this anymore. And that's not weakness, that's wisdom. If this spoke to you, I want you to keep going. Don't stop here. Don't tell yourself you'll figure it out later. Watch my free masterclass now. Inside, I will show you the exact 3-step, very simple framework I use to calm your nervous system, rewire your subconscious, and finally stop the panic from running your life. You're not alone. You are so powerful, and you're absolutely capable of peace. I will see you inside.